This story gets me so emotional every time I come across it. A young boy was put to death for a crime he never committed. It's a cold world out here. Hello everyone, this is Grammatized by Lily. George Stinney Jr. was only 14 years old when he was executed in South Carolina in 1944. It took the jury 10 minutes to convict and 70 years to exonerate him. In March 1944, Betty June, an 11-year-old girl, and Mary Emma, 7, were riding their bicycles looking for flowers when they saw George and his younger sister. They stopped and asked if they knew where to find the yellow edible fruits of passion flowers. That was the last time the girls were seen alive. They were white little girls. When the county law enforcement officers learned from a witness that the girls were seen talking to George, they went to his home. This little 14-year-old was handcuffed and interrogated for hours in a small room without his parents, an attorney, or any witness. He was given an incompetent court-appointed attorney who failed to call witnesses to the stand or present any evidence that will cast doubt on the prosecution case. The most significant piece of evidence presented against George was his alleged confession, but there was no written record of him admitting to the murders. By the time of the trial, George was still not allowed to see his parents, and they were too afraid to even come to the courthouse because of the white mob. So this little 14-year-old was surrounded by strangers. Following a deliberation that took less than 10 minutes, the all-white jury found George guilty of murder, with no recommendation for mercy. On April 24, 1944, George Stinney Jr. was sentenced to die by electrocution. On June 16, 1944, George walked into the electrocution chamber at the South Carolina State Penitentiary in Columbia with a Bible tucked under his arm. Weighing just 95 pounds, he was dressed in a loose-fitting striped jumpsuit, strapped into an adult-sized electric chair. He was so small that the state electrician struggled to adjust an electrode to his right leg. A mask that was too big for him was placed over his head. An assistant captain asked George if he had any last words. George replied, "No, sir." The prison doctor chipped in. "You don't want to say anything about what you did?" Again, George replied, "No, sir." When officials turned on the switch, 2,400 volts surged through his little body, causing the mask to fall off. His eyes were wide and teary, and saliva was emanating from his mouth. After 2 more jolts of electricity, it was over. George was pronounced dead. In December 2014, 70 years after George's execution, South Carolina Judge Carmen Mullin vacated George Stinney's conviction based on the evidence provided by Bogies and stated that the boy's prosecution was marked by fundamental constitutional violations of due process. George's sister, in a statement, declared that she was very happy that the brother was finally exonerated after 70 years. She can sleep well knowing that he was falsely accused by corrupt police officers and legal system. Hi guys, this is Grammatized by Lily. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.